Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? Well, 2018 is just about drawn to a close, which means it's time for the third annual video talking about my resolutions for the new year. What do I want to do in gaming? And when I did this video last year, I was able to look back at all those goals I'd set for myself in 2017, at the end of 2016, and I realized that I had accomplished them all. This year, looking back at the goals I set for myself at the end of 2017 for 2018, I realized I don't think I accomplished half of them. But that's okay because it was pretty broad, spectrum. I kind of had this big shotgun approach of things that I wanted to get to. And so there was a bunch of games that I didn't get to play. Things like Fate and Savage Worlds and let's see, I got to play a little bit of Star Wars, but I really was hoping to kind of like learn and master that Star Wars / Genesis system, and I didn't. We just didn't have time. One of the things that happened in 2018, at the very beginning of the year, I started getting healthy again, going to the gym and trying to eat better and all that sort of stuff. And the gym is a tremendous time commitment. And I just had other life time commitments, so it's really hard to juggle all this stuff. How do you fit all this stuff in? The other thing that happened in 2018, which is great, is my online gaming group became much more active. Some more people joined in. We started playing some more games. We lost some people, which was sad. But it became, all of a sudden we're playing more and more games and, more often, which is cool. But once again, time commitment, and we're playing play-by-post games, and we're playing, games via Hangouts or via Discord, that sort of thing. One of the goals I had was to explore different platforms, other than just using Hangouts, which I did use some Discord. But now, unfortunately, we really kind of have to figure out what we're going to do because, it seems as though Hangouts eventually is going to disappear, which is going to be really sad. What do we do now? Because it's important to me to be able to kind of broadcast things, record things, at least for my own use, and that sort of thing. So, got to figure out what's going to be the easiest way to do that because whatever it is, I'm not all about the flash. I'm about how am I going to make this easier? But anyhow, I'm jumping ahead, aren't I? There are some things that I got a chance to do a little bit, but I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to. I wanted to hopefully have campaigns either running or playing in or both of Hollow Earth Expedition and Leagues of Cthulhu. We didn't get to do that, but we got to play them both, which is cool. Let's see, I got to check out basic role-playing more than I thought. Getting involved in a couple games where that's exactly what I'm using. Got to check out some 2D20, and play some Star Trek. The WordPress blog that I, have and didn't use for quite some time, well, all during RPG A Day 2018, I used it. And I wrote a blog entry and made a video every single day. And then kind of petered out because that was a lot of activity. But writing is something that I really enjoy and something I've gotten rusty at, which I'd like to start doing again. Once again, I'm jumping ahead, aren't I? And things like working on skills and techniques for gaming and kind of assessing my strengths and weaknesses. I did that throughout the year. The year was very, very productive. What I really didn't end up doing was playing a whole bunch of games that I thought I was going to get to play. All the Fate, Savage Worlds, 7th Sea First Edition, Roll and Keep, all that sort of stuff. Didn't get a chance to play those games, as well as the Circle of Hands and the Broken Rooms, which I will never let go of, as these are games that are important to me to play eventually. Didn't get to play any World of Darkness. So, what do I want to do this year? This year it's a lot more focused in terms of what I want to actually do with the with gaming. And I think it's important in any endeavor to kind of take inventory every once in a while. What's working really well, what's not working really well. Am I changing directions here? What do I want to? What are my plans? So, certainly, I'm open to games kind of showing up and dropping in my lap. Last year I got to play Cortex, which was great. I love that system, and I got to play The Void. I played with the game with Dave Sems and Tim Other, and forget the other dudes' names. And that was a lot of fun too. But it was kind of a pickup game. Here we go. So I'm not going to make plans for a lot of these games that are kind of on my shelf, like Fate and Savage Worlds. And if it happens, that's great. If it doesn't happen, that's great. I'm not going to pursue it. So this year, I'd like to, at some point, play a little bit of Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea, because I've got the group of guys that I'm playing, BX and Lamentations of the Flame Princess, where they're interested in that, so we've been talking about that for a while. So that's just something it's not high priority, but, I'm sure it's going to happen. That's a game we're all, enthusiastic about and really kind of interested in playing. I'd like to continue to explore Powered by the Apocalypse games. The more that the group of people that I was playing them with have been talking, we realized that we're kind of not playing them exactly right. We've got the gloves on too much. There's nuances to our approach that need to be made. And it's something that I feel like there's value there in those games, as a learning experience. So I want to continue to press forward with those and really kind of get good at that. Will it be my favorite game or system? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Just something I'm really kind of interested in pursuing. Kind of call it a vendetta, if nothing else. I want to make some videos about where I've noticed some shortcomings of mine during this year, so I don't want to dwell on this, but I realized part of what I want to do this coming year is really master, all the ins and outs of Ubiquity. I noticed that there were things that, Francois Letarte was pulling out, and some things that happened in some other games I played where I realized I just didn't know the system as well as I thought I did or as I wanted to. I'm good at it, but there's just little nuances here and there. I'm thinking I'd like to really jump into that a bit more. Same thing with D100. I'm really enjoying playing in our Mythos Mithras game, which is, I'm picking up Raiders of R'lyeh. It's very close to that. And also in our Delta Green game, and I actually got Delta Green. I don't think you can see it back there, but it's on the shelf now. I think, yeah, there's a slipcover of that bad boy. I'd like to kind of master that because I'm enjoying that system, but I'd like to learn it really well. Likewise, I'm enjoying the whole mythos horror, like how to approach that kind of game, both as a player and, hopefully learning it as a game master. So that's kind of like something I'd like to focus on this year as well, because I really, really enjoy that style of game quite a bit. Still, running a Hollow Earth Expedition or Leagues of Cthulhu or both, or playing in one, or perhaps flip-flopping, that is still a big goal of mine for this year because I love that system. I like those games. Are we going to keep playing All for One Regime Diabolique? Absolutely. I'm pumped. That's just not even a goal. It's just going to happen. Likewise, things like Circle of Hands and Broken Rooms, well, they're still on that shelf of hope. I'd like to pull them out eventually. They're not super high priority, but if it happens, if we get the right people and we have the time, that's still up there. Likewise, way down the list, I got intrigued by Wraith the Oblivion. Anthony is don't watch Runeslingers videos because he'll suck you in. But, it's something that's on my, at some point, I really that's the World of Darkness game that kind of appeals to me the most. So, that's just way out there. I don't, it's not a super goal, it's just kind of like an honorable mention. Let's see, what else? I'd like to go back to that blog, and see if I can make more of an effort to run that consistently, because there's a whole bunch of topics that are more involved that I'd like to make some videos about, but I really want to get all my thoughts together and write the blog entry first, and so they've just kind of been languishing because I just haven't had the time, or I haven't made the time. So that's kind of a goal, is to really try to get back to doing that and being disciplined, because I enjoy doing that quite a bit. As far as gaming in general, I think I'd like to continue to work on techniques and skills, and continuing the process of self-assessment, not just for biases and preferences, but what am I good at, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what things do I want to work on to become better and more like some other people that I noticed that I really like the way they do that, and other things where where do I want to just capitalize on my strengths. Kind of grow into myself a little bit more, because I've noticed that there's parts of my playing and my game mastering, which are kind of rusty, and I'm wondering to myself, was this rusty, or was I just never very good at this particular part? I don't know. That doesn't really matter. So it's an opportunity for what can I improve now. So those are kind of my goals for the coming year. It's really not that involved. The online gaming group is going great. You'll notice I didn't mention anything about a local group. I just don't know if I have the time to do that. It's something I would really like to do, and then have a local face-to-face group. But I'm not going to make it a goal this year. If the opportunity presents itself, great. But it's a matter of how many balls can I keep in the air. So at the end of the day, really my focus is on these Ubiquity-based games, on this new D100 experience, on the whole Mythos experience. Just work on some more techniques, more skills, more kind of growing into myself, and trying to do more of this blog thing. Oh yes, and the Powered by the Apocalypse games, just to see how well I can master that, because once again I think there's some value in that sort of gaming. So anyhow, what are your goals? What are you going to do this year? What didn't work out? What did you not get to? Let me know about it.